the river was on 3 sides of our place, and in flood stage it actually at one time clear came up about a fourth of a mile to our house. Our house was the only thing that was out of the river. But Dad had built it on the highest point. But we ride immediately after we got to Montana, when the weather warmed up enough. Dad would let us go swimming in the river. We called it the Sandy Beach, and it was just along the east boundaries of our field, and it was not deep. Well, on one side we could get in water over our heads, but we learned where we could go and where we couldn't go. None of us knew how to swim when we started, but we found down there that we could find seashells, and I should ought to make a study of it. There were seashells that we could find the trails in the sand down in the willows at Dad's place. We'd follow it to an end and dig down there. Would be a seashell about this big, and some of them just beautiful purple inside. Most gorgeous things. Oh. And that was just a thing we did, is go down to look for seashells.
On the river.
But if you notice my knees, we were going down the river just after we got there. Dad had a ditcher, the kind that ditches really deep and sharp at the point. It's when he'd have us kids ride on it to make more weight, to dig it deeper. Mm-hmm. And then when we first did that, I can remember actually doing it. And then he ran the water through the ditches to be sure they held the water good and they didn't have low spots. And we kids were going swimming down to the river, and it was just shiny, slick, and I skied down to the bottom of the ditch and sprained both of my knees, and that's what makes me limp now. Oh. I really damaged my knees, but I hit those wow. with such a chunk that I sprained them and found I could walk backwards lots easier than frontwards. Dad didn't believe much in going to doctors. He really didn't. I don't either, but I heard him again recently, and I always remember that first trip down that. I just squealed at my siblings that I'm skiing, and then I hit the bottom. We all used, in the winter time, it would freeze, and I've seen the ice like 2 feet thick. You could see some of it be just as clear as a bell over see the blue water underneath it. And we just had the kind of skis that you put on, like we used to roller skates with straps onto your shoes. And we just skated a lot. I always wished I could have been Sonia Heine, because I could do all the whirls and stuff. Nobody to teach us, but we just, Dad was busy. He used to tell us he was always afraid of the water. He says he drowned twice when he was a kid. And he would say, go, yes, my darling daughter, hang your clothes on a hickory branch, but don't go near the water. I've heard that phrase so much. We went swimming because he didn't say we couldn't. And the older girl, the kids, I swam the river before I knew how to swim. And when you can't touch bottom, you better.
Can't swim.
I just remember the first time, and she's still living, the gal that dies. She was so nice with we younger people and treated us just like we were their age.